Yo, what is good everybody? It's your boy the Strongest Wizard, and today we're going to be talking about the biggest news in One Piece TCG history ever. One Piece just dropped a brand new ban slash restricted list, and my mind is blown, bro. So gone right now. I'm going to talk about what cards got restricted, what cards got banned, and how this is going to affect the meta. But essentially, in a nutshell, red is pretty much dead. Yes, red. All the red leaders, gonzo, dunzo, kaput, you're done. There's no point. There's no point. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Anyways, let's dive in. Alright, so the first place we need to start is actually on Twitter, where One Piece made their announcement about what cards they were going to ban slash restrict. Now, this could have been done also on Facebook. I know they had a Facebook post, but Twitter was the place I saw it. So essentially where we begin here, let's just figure out what cards got banned slash restricted. And those banned cards are OP01 Nami. OP01 Nami, this is the Nami, the Bay Nami. I can't believe they banned this card. Second card they banned is actually Edward Newgate, the leader. Bro, the leader is done. Okay, all right, cool. Okay. Next card is we have OP02 Curly Dadon. Okay, my man Curly is banned. He's done. And yeah, those are the three banned cards. And then restricted now is we have Marco. So Marco is obviously huge. Yeah, I mean, we're going to figure out and we're going to talk about what decks this really matters in and why it really matters. Okay, so let's first talk about why they did it, right? So on this statement, One Piece said, "Hello, One Piece Pirates. Thank you for playing the One Piece card game. On July 28th, we added 3 cards to the restricted list as a measure to mitigate the high usage and win rate of the red decks and leader cards from OP01." Right? Cards like Zoro, Law, Edward Newgate. But despite the restrictions, we have continued to see these decks play a prominent role in the metagame. In order to provide a more enjoyable user experience of the One Piece card game and promote deck and gameplay diversity, we will be adding the following cards to the ban slash restricted list starting November 10th. Okay? These and other cards may be removed from the banned and restricted card list in the future based on developments in the metagame and release of new cards. Okay, this is really big because if you guys remember back in July, we restricted Marco, we restricted Radical Beam, and those are huge. Radical Beam was a little bit big, but the Marco was very big, as well as obviously banning Moby Dick, right? So this is very big. I can't even, honestly, I'm like baffled. Like literally last night, I found this out, and I'm like the whole entire time I'm thinking, oh man, this is nuts. I can't believe this is happening. But let's talk about what decks this actually is going to affect here. So Nami is huge, obviously, is one of the main key pieces in Law. This is absolutely so crucial for Law. I think banning this card alone, along with Curly, is insane. Like, the entire speed slash search of the deck is just dead, okay? Like, I know what you guys are thinking. There's still a ton of cards that you can use as searchers, but to be as efficient as Curly and as Nami, I don't think there is anything nearly as good. With the wide variety of targets that these two hit, there's just no way. There's just no way, my guy. Now, Nami, if we talk about Zoro here, Zoro as in the leader, most current builds of Zoro don't actually run Nami. But I do tell you this, they definitely do run Curly. Every Zoro deck is running 4 Curly because they're searching for their Ezos and they're searching for their, obviously their buggies, right? Incredibly good card. There is no efficient way to search those cards Currently, there's no efficient way to search Buggy at all. There is no way to search Buggy. Ezo, right? The Ezo, the searcher, can find a lot of your targets, but it can't find Buggy. Next card in that same deck here is we have Marco. Another huge deck in Zoro. Another huge card in Zoro, I'm sorry. This is really, really big. Unable to... The fact that this card was able to press your opponent's board with removal, plus adding a 5/6 body, plus it's 1 kick counter, plus it's searchable. I don't even need to talk about how good this card is. You guys already know. And honestly, it's insane. And the very last card, this very last thing that got hit was Edward Newgate. This deck is done. Literally, you can't play it. There's no more. It's just done. This is huge. This is huge because there are people out there that only play Whitebeard only. That literally don't play anything else but Whitebeard. So oh man, I don't even know where to begin. We can even talk about the market. Everything red is gonna fall like a rock. Okay. I want to talk about the meta game first. Okay. So I think that with the meta, and look, you even have people like, dude, Big Mom eating good. Is Asia gonna see some of these same balances, right? My boy Law, my boy Law is, yeah, it's rough out here, bro. So, like I was saying, is red actually dead? I don't really know. I don't think so, honestly. Even though Zoro did lose Curly, like I said, some lists weren't even running Nami, right? It doesn't really matter. But also losing Marco is very, very big. But can it stand on its own 2 legs? Honestly, I kind of think so. I think there are going to be very big Zoro enthusiasts because I do think that Zoro is it can be a very high ceiling deck, right? Like it takes a lot of skill to run that deck. Although I do think the floor is very, very low to run that deck. But I definitely think there's going to be another version of that deck out. We still have Ezo. We still have Buggy. The question is, like, what does really Ezo find us? Or one of Marco's. It finds us all of our event cards. The majority of our event cards are still Whitebeard Pirates cards, right? Unfortunately, we don't have a Nami search anymore, so we can't search cards like, obviously, like Radical Beam, Guard Points, things like that. But we have Buggy. Buggy finds those cards. I don't think it's dead, but I think it's like, I don't know. My first thought in my head is like, it's definitely tier 2. Like, at best, it's a tier 2 deck now. Zoro is a tier 2 deck. Obviously, Whitebeard is gone, right? Dunzo, kaput. Now, let's talk about Law. Law is a very, very big one. Now, Law is actually really important to me because I started the game playing Law. That was my first deck I ever played, other than the starter deck times. It was my first deck that I played, and I played that deck for a long time. A lot of people on this channel know me as playing Law. That I used to only play exclusively Law. And then once I got really, really popular, I started to die down from it. I just hated playing the mirror match, whatever. Now, the question is, does it die? I don't think so, okay? There are a ton of still searchable cards that we can use in replacement of Nami. Curly is irreplaceable, okay? Curly is irreplaceable. There is no other card like Curly that is that efficient. It was able to find you a 2k counter, a 1-cost blocker, and a searcher. It could do all those things in one card, which is absolutely absurd. So every time you needed anything, you just went searching for it, right? Now, I think Law just became a lot slower. We still have cards like Ezo that people are going to start running. I have seen some film Law lists already, and there's also Wano, right? In OP01, we still had Nami, right? But we also had Momo. And Wano cards are still really, really good. You know, you have cards like all the resters, like Ezo, Cat Viper, and we even have the Yamato, the 5-cost Yamato, as a possibility now, as an option. Now, I just think it's a lot slower now, like a lot slower. They just pulled the brakes on Law, and they're like, yo, You're going too fast, buddy. You're going on an 80 on a 40 right now. You gotta calm down. But is it dead? That's a good question. I really don't know. Now let's talk about the decks that just shot through the freaking roof because of this change. Okay, let's talk about the biggest player in the room. It's yellow. We gotta talk about yellow. Okay, Katakuri's 2 worst matchups. Okay, originally 2 worst matchups were Whitebeard and Law. Literally, those 2 matchups made the deck unplayable at times. And even when people were putting it at tier 1 like myself in this past OP04, we saw very little to no results for Katakuri. This is going to, I promise you guys, this is going to change 1 billion %. Okay? Now here's the thing. Low key, my man Film Kid just also shot through the roof. And that's very funny because Film Kid does really good against Whitebeard. It does very bad against, I think it does very bad against Law. But now with all the yellow shooting up, Kid does really good against yellow, like super good. And I'm super excited. The only bad part is Dofi also gets shot up. So pretty much all the decks that lost to Whitebeard or Law, or just even Law, they just went up like 1,000%. Okay, Croc. I think even Croc does better now. The only problem is that I mean, the big debate of does Croc beat Yellow, that will go on forever. I think a lot of people are either both ways about it, or I don't know anymore. But my point being is a lot of the non-red decks just shot up. All the decks that were being held back by Law and Whitebeard are just, and even Zoro now, like even Zoro is a lot slower. So I think honestly, like, yeah, it's huge. I would say purple is gonna do good, but yellow still exists and yellow beats purple, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a shame for purple. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this ban list. Was it justified? Are you a Whitebeard player and are sad? Are you a red player and are very sad? If you think Law and Zoro will completely survive and they will still flourish, let me know in the comment section below. I honestly want to know your opinions and your thoughts. Okay? So yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out the channel as well as this video. I really do appreciate it. And stay tuned because I have a ton of new OP04 and OP05 content coming out soon. See ya!